Hi everyone, I'm San, and you're listening to San's podcast. The topic I want to open up about today is none other than rejection. Have you ever been rejected? Or have you ever rejected someone? I believe that in life, we all have to reject someone at least once and be rejected a few times to truly understand that feeling. We often only think of rejection as something very negative, right? That feeling of disappointment because what we wished for didn't come true. I remember a story from when I was in elementary school. It was the summer after 5th grade, and by chance, my friends were participating in a summer activity club at the city's youth center. In this club, we would sing and dance together. We'd put on plays and performances, participate in quite a few events, and even go on tour to other provinces for art competitions. During that time, my mom saw how much I loved it. I loved everything about it. It was so cool and wonderful. My mom wasn't worried because our house was close to the youth center, only about 1 or 2 kilometers away. Usually, I'd just bike there, and we only went a few times a week to practice. I felt incredibly happy when I stood on stage with everyone, performing a song. I truly felt alive. That summer activity in 5th grade was such a joy, and I was so excited to ask my mom, "Mom, can I join the summer club again next year for 6th grade?" Her answer was no. No, you can't join anymore. The reason? Because I see you're not focusing on your studies. Doesn't that sound heartbreaking? At the time I felt, why? Why won't she let me do what I love? Why is she forcing me to do this and that? But much later, I realized that sometimes what parents say really is for our own good. It's true, participating in those activities and performing in so many places did make me neglect my studies, because I had something else to focus my attention, energy, and time on. My schoolwork definitely suffered a lot. But I only truly understood that much later. At that moment, I was just angry, hurt, and sad. Why doesn't Mom understand me? I wonder if you guys had moments like that when you were kids. But really, that feeling of being rejected back then was awful. It truly was. And I know that as you grow up, you'll likely face many rejections, both in your career and in love. We love someone, but they don't reciprocate, or they even outright reject us. It's the same with work. We apply for a job, prepare our CV, practice interview questions, but in the end, we don't even make it past the application stage. We ask ourselves, why? Why did I try so hard, apply to so many places, but never get an offer? Why not me? I remember back in high school, an upperclassman liked me. He confessed his feelings. Before that, we were already friends, playing in the same group. We always hung out in a group. He and I had never hung out alone. So when he confessed, I was quite surprised. But deep down, I also felt a little awkward, because honestly, I didn't have any special feelings for him. At the same time, I didn't want to lose a friend because he was usually quite caring and shared a lot with me. I was afraid that if I rejected him, I'd lose him, but if I said yes, I'd be deceiving him, so I had to choose one or the other. And at that moment, I decided to reject him and I told him my feelings directly. I said, "I understand and I really appreciate your feelings and I'm a little surprised. But honestly, I still want us to be friends, because right now I don't have special feelings for you." He said he didn't want to be friends with me. And of course, who wants to be friends with someone they like? Don't you agree? When I reject someone, I hope they find someone more suitable for them. If I hadn't rejected him, if I had kept him by my side and remained unclear, then of course, it would have been good for me in the sense that he would still care for me and be by my side. But I was thinking of asterisk him. That's why I rejected him. I wanted him to give his affection to someone who deserved him more because I truly didn't have any special feelings for him. And of course, after I rejected him, our friendship wasn't the same. It was a bit awkward, but I think I made the right decision. If you look at it from a different angle, rejection is actually very appropriate, and it's not as bad as we think. It's not nearly as bad as we think. Sometimes, it's precisely because of rejection that we know where we stand, who we are, and what we need. If you had to choose between someone who is unclear with you, they don't reject you, but they don't agree either, or they even agree but don't truly have feelings for you, and someone who tells you straight up that they don't have special feelings for you, who is honest with you, which would you choose? What do you think would truly be better for you? If we're with someone but the feelings aren't real, then we're just one of their options. And one day, when they find someone they truly love, then we'll be the one who has to leave, and the pain then will be many times worse. This reminds me of a small crush, a tiny infatuation I had during my university years. I had a crush on a guy a few years older than me. Honestly, it was the first time I'd ever crushed on someone so intensely. I've never said this anywhere else before. Before this, I had never taken the initiative with anyone because, for the most part, people pursued me first and I didn't have many strong feelings. But this time, the feelings were incredibly powerful, so I decided to make the first move. Of course, I didn't rush anything. It was just a simple invitation to hang out, meet up, chat, that's all. I invited him out and we had our first date where we shared a lot. The more I talked to him, the more I felt like we clicked. At the time, I just thought, I liked him, so I kept trying with him. Don't you all feel the same way? We like someone, so we think we're compatible with them. After that first date, we still kept in touch, but contact became less and less frequent. I was quite stubborn. Even though I understood the problem, that maybe I wasn't the one for him, I still stubbornly kept texting him, inviting him out. And in the end, I was rejected. Not just once, but twice. I'd never been so persistent. And even now, looking back, I still find it funny and I'm still grateful to myself. Because by daring to express my feelings, that crush finally got an answer, and it could end. If we don't speak up, it can never truly end. When he rejected me, I was so angry. I deleted all our messages, his number, everything. I just deleted it all thinking, all right, this crush is buried. It hadn't even blossomed, but I sent it straight to oblivion. And I was really angry. I was so sad for a long, long time, not just a few days, because it had been so long since I'd liked someone that much. After a while, I graduated and started working. I met someone new, and he brought me truly immense happiness. He cherished me, loved me, cared for me, worried about me every day, asking if I was eating on time. He shared in my joys and grieved in my sorrows. When we ate out, he was willing to eat foods I didn't like. And only then did I realize that I secretly thanked the person who had rejected me before. If, at that time, they had kept me by their side as just an option, I might still be lingering around them with a somewhat delusional affection. I secretly thanked them for rejecting me, so I could accept the truth, understand their feelings, and move on to find a new path, a new love. In reality, people who want the best for us are the ones who will reject us. They want us to choose what's more suitable for us. They don't want us to drown in delusion or baseless hope. You might feel very sad, I went through that too, and when I saw them with someone new, I felt even sadder. Secretly watching them fall in love with someone else, I'd often think, if only that person holding his hand was me, if only that person by his side was me. But later, I understood that the most important thing is to walk alongside someone who dedicates all their affection to you. And through all those times of being rejected and rejecting others, I realized that the most important thing is to find what truly fits our lives, not to stubbornly chase what we merely want. Because sometimes, what we want isn't necessarily what's right for us. Don't you agree? It's the same with work. When I first moved to Saigon, I applied to 3 companies. I sent my CV to all 3, and I got interview offers from all of them. I really liked the environment at ACC, it was fun and dynamic, but they didn't agree to the salary I requested. For me, that was the salary I deserved. I knew I deserved that amount, but they only offered 25% less. And we couldn't make it work. We couldn't come to an agreement. But afterward, I was hired by a fashion company at the salary I wanted. And I felt that, even though the commute was a bit far, this was the place that understood my value and my contributions, offering me suitable compensation, a great work environment, and projects that fit me. When you apply to a company and don't get a response, that's when we should reevaluate. Have we prepared our CV well enough? With our experience, are we truly suited for this job? We should review it that way instead of thinking, I'm such a failure, I'm incompetent, I didn't get hired, I'm ignorant. No, we shouldn't think that way. We should think, I'll find a better job, one that suits me more, that's a better fit for my CV, so I have a chance. And it's the same in love. When you're rejected, it doesn't mean you're a bad person or inadequate. It simply means you haven't found the right person yet. They haven't seen you as suitable, they haven't perceived your value. It just means we're choosing something that isn't truly right for us yet. I want us to look at rejection from a different angle. Maybe you're very sad because you missed out on a job or lost someone, but trust me, rejection teaches you so much about self-awareness and helps you find a new path that aligns better with your own values. What we like isn't always what's good for our lives. What's compatible is what's good for our lives. And Everyone seeks compatibility in their lives. We can't change others or external circumstances, but we can absolutely change ourselves and choose what's right for us. That's what I wanted to share with you today. Being rejected isn't scary, and it's not as terrible as we might think. From a different perspective, I believe we should thank everyone who has rejected us. They help us understand what path to choose and who to choose to be truly compatible. Looking back, I see that those who reject us are often the ones who are clear. Of course, being rejected will make us sad, inevitably. But trust me, we have many more opportunities, as long as we put our faith in ourselves and find what truly aligns with our values. If you're chasing something that's currently beyond your value, you can always work harder. Strive more, persevere more. That's all I wanted to share today. This first podcast is about looking at rejection from a different angle, not just as sadness, disappointment, or negativity, but as clarity that opens the way for our next journey.